From strange creatures in the woods, baby Bigfoot on the run, to footage from inside one of the most haunted houses, these are just a few of the things we will look at. Stick to the end. A man was out on a solo hike when he saw something that made his blood run cold. This footage comes from X, where a user uploaded a video claiming to have spotted a strange being in the forest. As the hiker kept recording, you can see something lurking in the bushes, peeking out and seemingly stalking the cameraman. If you think it's just a bush or a trick of the light, think again. This thing moves and locks eyes with the camera, its gaze filled with an eerie, almost malevolent presence. It appears to be some kind of furry creature, but its face, that's what truly sends chills down my spine. What do you think this creature is? Something familiar or something from the unknown? This man was flying a drone over Salt Lake, Ohio to test its controls, but what he captured made his heart skip a beat. The drone snapped this eerie image, revealing a dry forest landscape. But among the trees, there's something unusual. A tall, humanoid black figure. It closely resembles the legendary Bigfoot we've seen in countless internet sightings. Covered in dark fur, the figure appears to be casually strolling through the wilderness. Some viewers in the comments believe it could be a primate, like an ape or a gorilla. But a quick search will tell you, Ohio doesn't have any wild primates. So, if it's not a known animal, then we might have to face a shocking reality. Could this really be Bigfoot? Up next, a hiker captures eerie footage of the legendary Bigfoot, but this time, the creature is smaller, almost like a child lurking in the shadows. This hiker was enjoying a serene walk through the forest when suddenly he heard the sound of branches snapping nearby. As he panned his camera around, he managed to capture the source of the sound, a small, black creature darting through the woods.
What the fuck is that?
According to the uploader, this could be a baby Bigfoot, and judging by its appearance, it certainly seems possible. It has the dark fur, humanoid walk, and posture typical of Bigfoot sightings. So, is this truly a young Bigfoot? Or could it be something entirely different? Something we have yet. Mountains in North America are infamous for Bigfoot sightings, and these stories might just provide some terrifying proof. A hiker named Peter was exploring the Rocky Mountains when he stumbled upon a massive footprint on a dirt trail. To compare its size, he placed his phone, roughly 6 to 7 inches in length, beside it. Shockingly, the footprint was nearly 3 times larger in both length and width. One chilling story dates back to 1975 in McCall. A 15-year-old farmer was startled late at night when his horses and dogs went wild. Grabbing his shotgun, he ran outside, expecting to find a bear. But after firing a shot, he realized in horror that it wasn't a bear at all. It was a towering humanoid figure, clutching a wild hog under its arm. Another eerie encounter took place in southern Idaho, where a man and his 10 companions claimed to have seen a Bigfoot. They estimated the creature to be around 10 feet tall, covered in reddish-brown fur, lurking deep in the woods. A man named Kaylee shared his terrifying experience on his 5-acre property where he lived in a double-sized trailer home and kept horses and hogs. One night, to his horror, their fully grown, large breed hog was taken. The culprit? He and his family were convinced it was Bigfoot. In Siksika, multiple pieces of Bigfoot evidence have been captured on camera. One eerie photograph taken on the Blackfoot Reservation appears to show a large, shadowy figure. Even more chilling, giant footprints were discovered nearby. Alberta, Canada, is another hotspot for Bigfoot sightings. Many reports describe a large, furry creature casually strolling through the woods, evading capture, yet leaving behind traces of its presence. With so many stories and pieces of evidence, it seems these elusive cryptids have a stronghold in the forests of Canada and North America. Could these mountains truly be home to the legendary Bigfoot? As a hiker, you expect to witness beautiful, serene forests, but for this one, the experience took a terrifying turn. In this video uploaded on X, we see a strange, gorilla-like creature casually strolling through the forest. The footage was captured by a hiker who appears to be peeking from behind a tree, trying to stay hidden. The sheer size and muscular build of this creature are both awe-inspiring and downright terrifying. At first glance, it resembles a gorilla, but upon closer inspection, its posture and the way it moves seem eerily human. What do you think this creature is? A Bigfoot or something even more terrifying lurking in the wild? This guy was on a late-night drive through a snowy forest when he heard the sound of branches breaking. Curious and slightly unnerved, he started recording, only to capture something absolutely terrifying. As the driver listened closely, he heard bone-chilling screams echoing from deep within the woods. Stepping out of his car, he began recording, and in the video, we can hear those eerie, blood-curdling screams growing louder. When he calls out, whatever's in the woods responds, with an even more intense and unsettling cry. No! Then, as if things couldn't get any worse, he hears something massive crashing down from the trees, breaking branches as it descends. According to the uploader, this terrifying encounter resembles a Wendigo. In North American Algonquian folklore, the Wendigo is a mythological, cannibalistic creature known for stalking humans during winter. Some legends describe it as a monstrous beast that devours people, while others believe it to be a spirit that possesses individuals, driving them to madness and cannibalism. Whatever this thing was, one thing is for sure. This video will make me think 3 times before ever going on a late-night drive through the forest again. This TikTok user set out to capture footage of a pileated woodpecker after hearing its call outside, but instead, he ended up recording something far more terrifying: a demon. This eerie video was filmed in eastern Canada, where the TikTok user was trying to spot the bird he had heard. But to his shock, instead of a woodpecker, a bone-chilling demonic scream erupted from the nearby woods. The sound was a mix of deep growling and piercing screams, as if coming from a massive creature lurking just beyond sight.
I heard some shit right here.
Some believe this could be a mountain lion or foxes, known to make unsettling cries. But honestly, there's something incredibly strange and disturbing about this sound. It doesn't feel natural. Would you be daring enough to venture into the woods and find out what's really lurking in there? I bet after watching this next video, you'll start wearing a cap, even when it's not sunny outside. This chilling footage comes from Indonesia, where a man was casually talking on the phone, completely unaware of the danger creeping up behind him. Out of nowhere, a snake slithers up and lunges straight at his head. Luckily, he was wearing a cap, and the snake's fangs got stuck in the fabric instead of sinking into his skin. As the snake struggles to free itself, the man finally notices what's happening. Then the video abruptly ends. That was way too close for comfort. If anyone ever asks why it's important to wear a cap outdoors, just show them this video. They definitely won't question it again. There are two kinds of people in this world, those who believe in aliens and those who don't. But this video, it's creepy enough to unsettle both. The uploader, who works at a shipdock station in Ocean City, Maryland, stepped outside to record the intense weather when he caught something shocking in the sky. A formation of glowing lights appeared in a perfect circle, seemingly coming from a saucer-shaped object. The eerie lights only appear for a brief moment before vanishing, leaving behind more questions than answers. The internet is buzzing with claims that this is an alien UFO, but let's think logically for a second. Could this be a reflection from floodlights on the ground or some kind of optical illusion? Maybe. But if it's not, then we might have to face the terrifying possibility that we just witnessed something extraterrestrial. Explore. If you fall into the category of Bigfoot deniers, this next video from Connecticut is just for you. Uploaded on February 5th, 2025 to a dedicated Bigfoot research channel. This video shows a slowed down, enhanced clip of what appears to be a massive, gorilla-like creature spotted in Connecticut. In the footage, we can see this beast walking on two legs with a human-like posture, its thick black fur covering its entire body. Every feature perfectly matches the classic description of Bigfoot. Some viewers claim it's fake, most likely a hoax with someone wearing a Bigfoot costume. But one thing's for sure. If I ever saw something like that walking around the outskirts, you might have to call 911 for me. No joke. I love drone technology, not just because they capture stunning aerial shots, but because of their incredible contribution to search and rescue missions like this one. This video, uploaded by SWNS News, captures the dramatic moment when a police drone located a missing pensioner after 24 hours of searching. In the footage, we see the drone spotting 75-year-old Peter Paw lying alone in the marshes. He appears to be struggling in the water, desperately trying to get out. Thankfully, this was a police drone, and as soon as officers spotted Paw, they immediately launched a rescue mission. After navigating through the marshes, the rescue team finally reached Paw and brought him to safety. Reports say he had gone for a walk with his family on a beach in Brancaster, Norfolk, before getting lost. Thank God for drones. Without aerial search capabilities, this could have turned into a week-long mission, and that much time could have been a game over for Paw. This next video will show you why keeping your car windows closed at all times could potentially save your life.
Holy fuck!
This footage was captured by Dylan Schaefer while driving at his job site in northwestern Alberta. As Schaefer was on the road, he noticed an animal running toward his car. At first, it looked like a big cat, but as it got closer, he realized it was actually a wild lynx. However, the truly terrifying moment happened when, out of nowhere, the lynx suddenly leaped at him. Thankfully, his windows were closed, acting as a barrier between him and, well, his life.
Holy fuck!
On a TikTok posted by Mad1701 on the 10th of May 2024, a normal night in Appalachia turned into something terrifying. It was 2:45 a.m., and the person filming was waiting at a railway crossing for a train to pass. The night was silent. Nothing seemed strange. But then, something happened. They pointed the camera at the train tracks, expecting to see nothing but the empty rails. But something was there when they turned the camera for just a second. A dark figure stood on the left side of the tracks. It was hard to see, but one thing was clear. It didn't look human. Wanting a better look, they increased the contrast and brightness. That's when the real horror appeared. The figure was still there. Now easier to see, its shape was strange, unnatural, and nothing like a person. Fear set in. Whatever this thing was, it had been standing there the whole time, watching. The video ended suddenly, leaving a chilling mystery behind. Many believe the Appalachian tracks are one of the most haunted places in the region. Stories of strange figures, eerie sounds, and unexplained sightings have been reported for years. Was this just another trick of the light? Or had this TikToker captured something truly unexplainable?
Yeah. What? Yeah, there's something back there.
This video was posted by a random guy on June 15, 2009. What started as a calm, ordinary night inside a home quickly turned into something terrifying. The video began like any other. Two people were inside, laughing and feeding their rabbits. The mood was light and relaxed. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But that was about to change.
Do you hear something outside?
Yeah.
As one of them filmed his rabbit, he suddenly stopped and asked the other, "Did you hear that?" At first, it was easy to ignore maybe just the wind or an animal outside, but something didn't feel right. There was a noise coming from the garden, something faint but noticeable. The person holding the camera hesitated, then walked toward the window. He peeked outside into the darkness, his camera recording everything.
There's something like
Crouching down there.
Yeah, could you get the light?
The other person turned on the lights. At first, they could barely see anything, just the shadows of trees.
Yeah. What? Yeah, there's something back there.
A dark figure was crouched low to the ground. It didn't move. It didn't make a sound. It was just there, watching. Then, without warning, it moved. The figure suddenly stood up and bolted across the garden, running with an unnatural speed. The two friends gasped in shock, the camera shaking as they reacted to what they had just seen. Without thinking, they ran outside, hoping to catch a better look. But by the time they reached the garden, it was gone.
What the fuck is that?
On a video posted by a random person on TikTok on the 29th of September, 2023, what started as a simple exploration turned into something strange and unsettling. A man was checking out an old abandoned house late at night. Holding a flashlight, he scanned the dark windows, trying to get a better look inside. But when he aimed the light at the second floor window, something caught his eye.
Yo, what the fuck is that? What?
For a second, he saw it. Something dark in the middle of the window. At first, he thought it was just a shadow. But as he stared, it became clear that this wasn't just a trick of the light.
What the fuck is that?
Panic started to creep in. The figure wasn't moving, but something about it didn't seem right. It wasn't shaped like a person, and it was way too tall. The more he looked, the more it felt like it was looking back at him. But before he could process what he was seeing, it was gone. In a video posted by a random person on TikTok on the 7th of February 2025, it all started as a normal night. But soon, things took a very creepy turn. Two girls were walking on an empty road, filming themselves with a phone. They were happy, smiling, and laughing. The night was quiet, and they were just enjoying the moment. Nothing seemed strange. The road was empty. No people, no cars, just silence. They were talking to each other, checking out their surroundings. Maybe they were just exploring. Maybe they felt safe. But that feeling wouldn't last long. One of the girls walked a little ahead. She wasn't filming. Maybe she wanted a better look at the area. But then, she stopped. And that's when they saw it. Something was standing there, watching them. At first, it was hard to see. The fog made it blurry. But the figure was tall, wearing a long frock. It wasn't moving. It wasn't making a sound. Its face was unclear, but it was staring right at them. The fun was over. Then suddenly it started running toward them. The girls screamed. They turned and ran as fast as they could. The phone was still recording, but everything was shaking. The screen showed only darkness and moving streetlights. They didn't stop. They just kept running. One of them finally turned the camera back, and the figure was gone, completely disappeared. They stopped running, breathing hard. Their hearts were racing. They looked around, but the road was empty. There was no one there. Had they imagined it? Or was something there, watching them? They stood there, confused and scared. They whispered to each other, trying to understand what just happened. They knew what they saw. It was real. But how did it just disappear?
Wow, a monkey. A monkey on top of the coconut tree. It's crazy. Yep.
This video was posted by Nightmare Fuel on TikTok on the 29th of May, 2024. This was supposed to be just another quiet night. But what this man saw outside his window was something he would never forget.
Wow, a monkey. A monkey on top of the coconut tree. It's crazy. Yep.
It was May 2024 in California. A man was inside his house when he noticed something strange outside. There, on top of a broken tree, something was sitting. At first, he couldn't believe his eyes. He grabbed his phone and started filming. As he zoomed in, it became clear this was no ordinary animal. It had a small, thin body, almost like a creature from a movie. Its large, dark eyes stared directly at him. It wasn't moving. It wasn't making a sound. It was just watching him. The man whispered to himself, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. Was this some kind of cryptid, a lost animal, or something else entirely? But the scariest part was its stare. It didn't blink. It didn't turn away. It just kept looking.
Wow, a monkey. A monkey on top of the coconut tree. It's crazy. Yep, in Jamaica. Look at your eyes. Wow, a monkey. A monkey on top of the coconut tree. It's crazy. Yep, in Jamaica. Look at your eyes.
To make sure he wasn't imagining things, the man switched to a vibrant white filter. It was nighttime, so he needed a better look, and that's when he knew this was real. The creature was still there, its figure now even clearer. It wasn't a shadow. It wasn't a trick of the light. It was something unknown. But what was it doing there? Why was it watching him? In a video posted by Stick Sabot on the 2nd of August 2024, the backyard of a house was covered with little snow. Nothing moved. Everything was still. The security camera was recording, just like always. But then, something strange happened. From the left side of the yard, something appeared. A figure. It looked like it was pushing against something. Its face was blurry, hard to see. It stood there for a second, and then it was gone. For a moment, nothing happened. But then, the figure came back. This time, it looked like it was searching for a way out. It stood there, looking around. Then suddenly, it ran across the yard and disappeared into the darkness. No one ever found out who or what it was. But after that night, the homeowner never felt safe again. In a video posted by WVI Paranormal on 4th September 2024, everything seemed normal at first. The backyard was empty, quiet, and still. A small pool sat in the center, reflecting the dim light of the night. But then, something truly disturbing happened. On the left side of the screen, a red arrow pointed to something horrifying. A figure moved toward the pool wall. Its face was unclear, its movement strange. It leaned in, as if trying to observe the water. Or maybe something inside the pool. Then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, it was gone. The video zoomed in, and the figure became clearer, but not in a way that made sense. It didn't look human. Its form was smoky, shifting in the darkness, its face completely hidden. Who or what had been lurking by the pool that night? No one knows. But after watching this footage, one thing is certain. Whoever recorded it will never look at their backyard the same way again. These videos showcase eerie encounters that leave us with more questions than answers. From a cryptid on a broken tree to a haunting figure in a house, these videos leave us questioning what's real. This photo was uploaded on Facebook and was taken by the uploader while driving cautiously in the Lukachukai Mountains on Navajo Nation. In it, we can see a big, creepy figure standing on the roadside near a snow pile. Its eyes are shining, probably due to the car's headlights. But the terrifying part is its towering height and fur-covered body. I haven't seen anything like that before. According to the uploader, they were the only ones allowed on the mountains as tribal members. So this thing being there was pretty strange and eerie. Our woods, as beautiful as they look, also house things that are better kept hidden. These photos were uploaded to a Facebook group, and they show what looks like an ape-like figure strolling in the woods alone. Its body seems to be covered in thick black fur, and it has a human-like posture, which perfectly fits the description of what people call Bigfoot on the internet. It could very well be someone doing it for views, or as a prank. But let's be honest, just a picture, and that too, in a place like this, doesn't seem fake to me. A man from North Wales bought an 1850s house, and as he was landscaping his garden, he found something that gave him chills. Hearing those creepy sounds, it seems like something is trapped underneath there and is whistling to let the man know about them. The sound seems like a faint scream mixed with a whistle, but according to the uploader, this was a freshwater well that had been sealed for over 70 years, so it must be wind rushing in, making the whistle sound. Whatever the reason for that sound, the fact that he was opening it without knowing what was inside is what makes it really terrifying for him. This man was exploring Lincoln City Cathedral when he had one of the most terrifying moments of his life.
Shit.
As he was exploring around, the bell started ringing, and when he looked around, this face was peeking out from a corner. It seemed like a humanoid face, but when the cameraman came near it, it vanished. The bell sounds make this video a lot creepier. However, about the figure, it seems like it could be a monk apparition, especially since it's around a cloister where they've been reported before. Pretty creepy. Next, we have a 13-year-old video from the depths of YouTube that shows the horror of exploring a satanic house.
Guys, this smell is terrible. Do you hear that? Go!
A group of friends decided to explore a haunted house without knowing much about it. Inside, it was filled with satanic symbols and writings, but the real nightmare started when they stepped into the basement.
Who are you stepping on?
Oh my god. Okay, you guys wanna go? You're going first now.
Down there, they found a room with strange dolls lying around, for reasons only God knows. The stench was so strong, it made the cameraman vomit. Then came a terrifying growl from the darkness, followed by something attacking one of the friends. That was enough for them to bolt out of there.
Guys, this smell is terrible.
Dude, are you okay?
Hey guys. Do you hear that? Oh my god! Go!
According to the uploader, the friend who was attacked was fine, but still refuses to talk about the experience. Honestly, that's why I prefer staying in bed with my phone instead of exploring places like that. After watching this next video, I bet you'll think twice before letting your children play at the park, even during the day.
Hey, vente.
This video shows a strange face appearing behind a little girl as she slides down the slope. The face looks humanoid, but there's something deeply sinister and unsettling about it. According to the uploader, this video came from her neighbor, who mentioned they were alone at the park at the time. What's even more terrifying is that as soon as it noticed the camera, the figure disappeared, which only suggests it might have had some sinister intentions.
Hey, vente.
This next video from Reddit shows why, when you hear something, it's not always your mind playing tricks. It might be real.
That one's been broken and repaired.
Wow. That's really neat.
While this family was visiting a cemetery in Florida to pass the time, their camera picked up a strange whispering sound. They didn't hear it at the moment, but caught it later when reviewing the footage.
Oh, that one's been broken and repaired.
Wow. That's really neat.
The faint, eerie voice seems to say, "I'm right beside you," as the husband pans the camera around. The fact that they were in a cemetery makes this whole thing even creepier. Who, or whatever, it was, and what it wanted, honestly, I don't even want to know. For some, the forest is a place to enjoy serene natural beauty, but when night falls, things can take a terrifying and strange turn.
Any spirits in these woods?
This video was uploaded on TikTok by a user attempting to capture a spirit sighting in the woods late at night. As he called out to the spirits, a white figure suddenly passed through the trees right in front of him.
Any spirits in these woods?
It moved so fast that the cameraman didn't even notice it at first. But when the footage is slowed down and reviewed, it becomes clear. A smoky, humanoid figure is seen running through the woods. Well, he asked for it, and the spirit surely delivered. Desolate places like this are said to be breeding grounds for spirits and other entities, especially when night completely shrouds them in darkness. 2 girls posted a TikTok video of themselves sneaking onto their university at night to film a dance trend. But the real attention grabber was something lurking in the background. The video, uploaded on TikTok, shows 2 university students performing a viral dance trend in front of the camera. However, if you look closely at the background, you'll notice something eerie. A mysterious tall figure is standing in the darkness, staring at them. The girls remain completely unaware of its presence and continue dancing before eventually leaving. What's even creepier is that the figure perfectly matches the description of Slender Man. Honestly, it's probably for the best that the girls didn't notice this figure. If they had, they would have likely run for their lives. And I don't even want to imagine the horror of that thing chasing them. A homeowner was experiencing strange occurrences in his dining area. Suspecting it might be a raccoon, he set up a camera, only to capture something far more concerning. This footage, recorded on October 10th to 11th, 2010, was captured after 13 days of continuous surveillance. The homeowner had been trying to catch whatever was making noises in his dining area at night. In the video, we see a clear view of the dining room through the CCTV camera. But if you focus on the door, you'll notice something unsettling. A head-like figure peeking inside. Zooming in and slowing down the footage reveals what appears to be a small, alien-shaped head peering into the room. It seems to notice the camera before quickly retreating, as if trying to avoid being recorded. I have no idea what the homeowner did after this, whether he called the police or took some other action. But one thing's for sure, that thing looked pretty curious about his dining room. Some people still believe that the California fires were an inside job, and now they're pointing to this eerie video from Colorado as proof. This footage, captured on December 10th, 2024, by a helicopter flying over Colorado, USA, reveals a bizarre and unsettling weather phenomenon. In the video, the sky is shrouded in thick, ominous clouds, creating an almost apocalyptic atmosphere. Then, out of nowhere, the clouds burst open, unleashing what appears to be a blinding column of fire shooting straight down from the heavens. Could this be an intense lightning strike mixed with atmospheric conditions, or are we witnessing something far more unexplainable? The sheer intensity of the light makes it look like a hellish fire beam being launched toward the earth. What do you think is really going on here? If you have any insight into this phenomenon, drop your thoughts in the comments, because if this is more than just weather, we need to figure it out before it happens again. Driving on a desolate road can be calming for some, but for this woman, it turned into a pure nightmare when she spotted something horrifying.
What the fuck?
Stop.
This video was uploaded on TikTok, where a woman claimed to have seen something terrifying during her late-night drive home. In the footage, as she and her husband are driving, their car's dash cam captures a woman sitting in the middle of the road, doing something bizarre.
What the fuck?
Stop.
She appears to be holding a rock and banging it on something, but the creepiest part? It's the middle of nowhere, surrounded by dense woods.
What the fuck? Stop.
It looks like something straight out of a nightmare, but the uploader later confirmed that it was just a prank by a low-budget horror film crew. I mean, who sets up something like that just to give drivers a heart attack? One thing's for sure, people will definitely want to watch that movie now. During a late night walk, this guy came across an old house that looked completely abandoned. Any normal person would have taken one look and turned around. It already looked terrifying in the dark, but instead of leaving, he made the worst decision possible. He convinced himself that nothing bad would happen and stepped inside.
Jesus.
Inside, the place was a disaster. Everything was broken and scattered as if someone or something had torn through it. Still, he pushed forward, but just as he decided to go deeper into the house, he saw something that made his blood run cold. In that instant, he knew he had to get out. Everything happened so fast that you probably missed it. Whatever he saw inside that house was gone in the blink of an eye. But don't worry, we're about to slow it down for you. Take a closer look. Behind what looked like a broken door stood a doll, a little girl with sparkling eyes, staring directly at the front entrance. Or at least, that's what he told himself. Maybe it really was just a doll. Or maybe it wasn't. Many believe this was the ghost of a girl who once lived in the house, trapped there for reasons no one wants to understand. Whatever it was, it's better if it stays in that house forever, far away from us. If you work in an office building, you might want to start looking for another job. When the security workers from this building arrived in the morning, everything seemed perfectly normal, just another regular day. But when they checked the security footage from the night before, it told a very different story. Even though the building was completely empty at the time, the security footage showed an unexplained shadow moving across the floor. But that wasn't even the worst part. At one point, it looked like the shadow climbed up the wall, then onto the ceiling, before vanishing into thin air. The workers had no explanation for what they had just seen. While some believe the camera captured real paranormal activity, others insist there must be a logical explanation, calling it just a trick of the light. But honestly, I've never seen light create an effect like that on its own. And speaking of creepy security footage, you need to see what this man found on his parents' Ring doorbell camera. While visiting them, sometime around 3 a.m., he noticed something strange, a human figure walking toward the car in the driveway. At least, that's what he thought at first. But as the seconds passed, something felt off. The figure never came back. And when he took a closer look, it didn't even look human.
The thing runs for like another minute and he never comes back. He never does anything else. Whoever this
Never rings again.
Is that wearing a dress or
rings
something?
again.
Not like a wedding dress?
Wedding dress.
That is creepy how it's dark there.
Since he has a Ring doorbell camera at home, he knows exactly how it works. Every time he steps outside to take out the trash, the camera picks it up, once when he leaves, and again when he comes back. But this time, nothing happened. No motion alert, no second appearance, just silence. And that wasn't even the strangest part. His camera has always captured clear footage, yet this figure, it was nothing but a blurry, distorted shape, barely visible, while everything else in the frame looked completely normal. How could anyone still believe this was just a person after all that? But if you thought those security camera clips were creepy, just wait until you see this. 4 friends were driving home late at night, just talking and laughing like any other night. But the moment they passed by a cemetery, their camera picked up something they never expected. Look closely at the middle of the screen. Did you see it? That light silhouette of a man right in the middle of the screen? What makes this even creepier is that none of these friends saw it at the time. They only noticed it later when they rewatched the video, and that's when the shock set in. But here's the strangest part. As they drove past the cemetery, all 4 of them suddenly felt uneasy, chills running down their spines for no apparent reason. They didn't understand why at the time. But now that they do, let's just hope that next time they take a different route, one that doesn't pass by the cemetery. Now, if you've ever seen even one horror movie in your life, you know that walking into a dark, flooded basement alone is a terrible idea. But this guy did it anyway, armed with nothing but a flashlight and his phone. He stepped forward, completely unaware of the nightmare waiting for him. The basement itself was unsettling. The water pooling on the floor wasn't the scariest thing down there. As he swept his flashlight across the room, illuminating every corner, something caught his eye. For just a moment, it looked like something was watching him from the far end of the basement. Maybe he didn't see it at the time, but I did. Call me crazy, but I'm sure of what I saw. The moment his flashlight swept across the basement, something at the far end moved. For a split second, a head snapped back, almost like whatever was lurking there didn't want to be seen. Somehow, it felt dark, sinister, like it didn't want him there, or worse, like it wanted to hurt him. George is a YouTuber who insisted that something strange was happening in his house. He claimed a ball in the hallway moving on its own. Of course, no one believed him. Everyone brushed it off as a trick, a draft, or just his imagination. But George was determined to prove them wrong. So he set up his camera, hit record, and waited.
What's up, everybody? George here, by myself in the hallway. And the ball, not my ball, but the ball is moving by itself again. I gotta capture it for you guys, because nobody believes me. Go ahead and move. Oh my gosh, that was weird.
Just when people were ready to dismiss the whole thing as a stunt to get more views, something happened, something no one could explain. Maybe George wasn't making this up after all.
Please be nice. Dude, I got goosebumps so bad right now. You like the ball? What the? Oh, dude, it's pushing it down. Oh my God. What the hell? Dude, I want to run so bad right now, but I can't. I gotta film this.
If you're one of those people who think anyone could pull off a simple trick to make a ball move slightly, take a closer look at what happened next.
Are you pushing it to me? Dude, this is crazy, man. What? Okay, alright, okay, stop. Oh my God, man. I cannot believe this.
Maybe some of you think there's a string attached, pulling the ball across the floor. Others might say it's just a draft moving it. But then some believe something else is in George's house, something unseen. And honestly, they might be right. There's no visible string, and the ball isn't even near a door or window where the wind could push it. So what do you think? A simple trick or proof that something paranormal is at play? Let us know in the comments. And now, let's move on to the next disturbing footage. The last thing anyone wants after moving into a new house is to realize they might not be alone. But unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to this little kid. All he wanted was a peaceful night's sleep in his new home. At first, everything seemed perfectly normal, just another quiet evening. But the moment he went upstairs, something changed.
This is my mommy's room. This is downstairs. Oh my God.
At first, his parents didn't believe him. They thought he was just imagining things, maybe letting his nerves get the best of him. But then, they watched the video on his phone, and that changed everything. Clear as day, a massive shadow moved across the walls. It looked tall and broad, like a grown man, but no one else was there. People from all over the world have reported cases like this, cases of homes where the spirit of a previous owner refuses to leave. Some say these ghosts don't just haunt the house, they don't want anyone else living in it. Who knows? Maybe this is just one of those cases. This is the story of a coffee shop owner and the chilling footage he captured. One evening, while having dinner, his phone buzzed. The cafe alarm had gone off. Assuming it was a break-in, maybe clever thieves trying to rob the place, he rushed over to check it out himself. But when he arrived, everything was perfectly in place. No broken windows, no signs of forced entry, nothing out of the ordinary. The next morning, still feeling uneasy, he decided to check the security footage, just to be 100% sure, but nothing could have prepared him for what he was about to see. For days, he tried to convince himself that there had to be a logical explanation. Maybe it was a rat, maybe even a dog that somehow got inside. But there was one problem. He didn't have a dog or a cat. And whatever this thing was, it was far too big to be a rat or a mouse. If you ask me, it didn't even move like an animal. It looked more like a thick black cloud, shifting and gliding across the floor with purpose, something unnatural. Even though he still hasn't found a real answer, he keeps telling himself that nothing serious happened. But if I were in his place, I'd be thinking about setting up a cafe somewhere else. At first glance, this video might seem completely normal. just another quiet night, just another tired man getting into a taxi after a long day at work. Nothing strange about that, right? Well, prepare yourself. Because the terrifying part isn't that he got into the taxi, it's that he wasn't alone. Whoever or whatever got in with him wasn't supposed to be there. Without a doubt, the figure that followed him looked like a woman, but the entire clip raises more questions than answers. Where did she come from? Was she the spirit of someone connected to this man, or just a lost soul wandering aimlessly? And, more importantly, did he ever realize he wasn't alone in that taxi? Of course, some people believe this is just clever video editing, but if you watch closely, the figure blends too well into the scene, too naturally for it to be fake. Maybe it's even better if we never find out the truth. But one thing is for sure. The paranormal world is real. Most of us just aren't aware of it, at least not yet. Jinn are supernatural beings from Islamic and Arabic mythology. According to ancient stories, they were created from a pure flame of fire without smoke, while humans were formed from earth. Jinn are invisible to the human eye, but they can take on many forms: animals, humans, or even something far more terrifying. Some are good, some are neutral, but others are pure evil, and that's where the real problem begins. Things take a dark turn when a jinn decides to possess a person. If all of this sounds like nothing more than an old legend to you, then what you're about to see might change your mind.
Siapa? Terus dia keluar. Ini siapa? Yang Islam itu? Yang itu katakan Islam itu? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Ya, kamu siapa? Izul. Hah? Izul. Izul. Izul, kamu dari mana Izul?
The video shows a young girl undergoing an exorcism. At first, it might seem like just another ritual, something explainable. But if you still think this is just an act, keep watching, because what happens next is something that no one can explain.
Dia cukup dijaga oleh Allah.
Aku jaga ya saja.
Izul, perhatikan. Manusia, dengarkan.
No, enggak.
Kamu mau dengar?
Aku mau kawan sama dia.
Kamu mau dengar? Kamu mau dengar?
Dia bagus, Bang.
The girl's voice changed. The soft, youthful tone was replaced by something deep and completely inhuman. It was like evil speaking through her, but the worst moments were still to come.
Pegang, lagi-lagi pegang. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Jangan keluarkan dia.
Kalau kamu keluar, kamu zalim.
Nah, aku tidak mau keluar.
Keluar.
Tidak mau, tidak mau.
Keluar.
Aku mau keluar. Tidak.
As the people around her began singing religious hymns, whatever was inside this girl did not like it. Unable to escape, it expressed its suffering, and most likely its rage, through her. By the way her body twisted, it was clear that whatever had taken hold of her was fighting back. Jinn have feelings and free will, just like people. If someone offends them without knowing, they might take revenge by possessing that person. Some say jinn are even used in black magic, sent by evil people to hurt others. In other cases, a jinn might take over a person, simply because it has fallen in love with them. Many believe that people who don't practice religious rituals or are spiritually weak are more likely to be attacked by jinn. Whatever the reason behind this girl's possession, one thing is clear. It makes you wonder if the stories about jinn are more than just stories, right? Amanda Pitt, a mother of 4 from Pennsylvania, never believed in ghosts, but one night, something happened that changed her mind. At 3:40 a.m., she woke up to the sound of heavy footsteps in her house. At first, she thought she was just dreaming, but when she checked the security camera, she saw a creepy, ghostly figure standing right in her kitchen doorway. Panicked, she woke up her husband, and together they went to check the house. But everything was normal. The doors and windows were locked, and there was no sign of a break-in. Still, something felt off. Their dog, who usually slept peacefully at night, was pacing nervously around the kitchen as if it sensed something they couldn't see. If that's not proof that animals can feel things we can't, then I don't know what is. Have you ever experienced something you just couldn't explain? Maybe a strange noise in the middle of the night, an eerie shadow in the corner of your eye, or even something more terrifying? Let us know in the comments. The start of December marked a very unusual situation in New Jersey because, one after another, hundreds of witnesses and clips were uploaded online, claiming that a UFO-like object had been seen in the sky.
Mysterious drones flying above multiple counties, and no one really seems to know exactly what's going on.
There were all types of drones lurking in the skies. They were seen at night and during the daytime. Sometimes there was just a single drone flying, and other times there were even multiple drones, leaving people confused about what exactly was happening.
Like a helicopter, depending on how big they are is how loud they are. There's red and green lights on either side of them.
Now, the whole thing started on December 12th, 2024, when a video was recorded of mysterious drones flying in the sky at night. The person recording had no idea what it was, so they caught it on camera and even reported it to the local police.
We're on the highway and out in the distance we see all these lights.
But this was the first sighting to be reported, though not the first to ever happen. When people went to New Jersey to talk to the locals, they realized this was not the first time mysterious drone sightings had occurred there.
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like a mom, so I do my mom walkthroughs and this, that, or whatever. So I hear like this loud sound. It sounds like a generator or something.
So according to that woman, it was a drone in the sky with the loudest sound she had ever heard. But surprisingly enough, if all this had been happening for a year, why didn't anyone notice it? Until, of course, December 2024, when multiple people came forward at once with so many clips and pieces of evidence. And if you think this was only happening in New Jersey, then you are wrong, because this has also been recorded all around the globe, like this clip, which was recently recorded in Argentina. But while this clip showed a whole bunch of drones flying at night, there were fewer drones recorded in Ohio as well. And this one gets scarier because the drones just disappeared into thin air.
What I don't understand is how they're circling so close.
Yeah, what is going on there?
Whatever's trailing behind them just disappears.
Yeah, then it's gone.
But then people kept claiming they were just drones or planes in the sky, which left people confused until a video surfaced online that had everyone quiet. The giant UFO-like thing caught in the clip was nothing close to either a drone or a plane. And the sightings just never stopped. One after another, people kept seeing these weird things in the sky with no one to answer their questions.
Marmora, New Jersey.
They were coming in all shapes and sizes, sometimes huge, sometimes small, and other times in shapes no one could identify.
I've been seeing them at like 4 in the morning.
Have you?
Like twice.
That's very... I mean, that is the exact...
And with the volume of these clips and the way people were raising questions, the whole thing went mainstream, with journalists starting to ask what was happening.
For a month now, and we have no answers, and these drones have not stopped.
This pushed the mayor and others to give their take on whatever was happening, but it appeared they themselves had no clue. All they could say was that these drones were not a threat to the public, but when asked what they were, they seemed just as clueless as the public.
They were saying that they pose no threat. Now they realize that they can't say that. They don't know if these things are carrying payload. This is what they told us in the briefing.
Eventually, they even handed the whole case to the FBI to investigate what was happening, as residents were getting scared. Of course, anyone would be if their privacy was being breached this way, or worse, if those were some non-human entities just waiting to strike.
What the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
The Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity.
So yeah, for now, even the FBI has no clue what is happening in New Jersey or the whole world. Is it the apocalypse we've been warned about? Or just some people playing pranks on us? No one knows. For now, the FAA has banned anyone from flying drones in parts of New York and New Jersey, just to be safe. It was 11 p.m. on January 21st, 2013, when a YouTuber named Para Breakdown uploaded a video to his channel in which he appeared to be talking to the camera while deadly screams echoed in the background.
21st, about 11 p.m. I'm a couple hundred feet from my house, and you hear it going off in the background right now. Kind of sounds weird.
According to him, he was far from his home, and whatever creature was making those noises was clearly not a dog or a hyena. But then, a couple of minutes later, it sounded like the creature was starting to get closer.
I mean, that almost sounds like laughter.
The man stood there, recording all those deadly screams and laughter, like an evil entity getting closer to him. But then, a few minutes later, he heard this.
Pretty sure my friend who's doing a documentary on Bigfoot will enjoy this footage.
One after another, more shots were heard, followed by a loud scream. Probably someone was too irritated by the creature because, after that, there was complete silence. For more strange and interesting footage, check this out.